There's a startling new twist today in the case of the man believed to be the architect of the 9/11 attacks and his co-defendants. Our CNN's Brian Todd is following all of these legal maneuvers for the 5 suspected terrorists. This comes as somewhat of a surprise in what they're planning to do. Tell us more about it, Brian.
It is surprising, Suzanne. Strong indications now that they will plead not guilty, a dramatic potential change in legal strategy for Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and 4 others.
Not long ago, he wanted to plead guilty and be executed as a martyr. Now, alleged 9/11 mastermind Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and 4 others who will be charged in connection with the attacks plan to plead not guilty when they're charged in a civilian court. That's according to Scott Fenstermaker, a lawyer for one of the men, Ali Abdulaziz Ali. Fenstermaker explains why.
I believe the legal term would be a justification defense. What they believe to be America's aggressive foreign policy needs to be defended against, and I believe that they believe that it is the September 11th attacks were in response to that.
Fenstermaker believes his client and the others will still acknowledge their alleged roles in the 9/11 attacks, and
he said that here's my goal, and he wrote down the word death on a piece of paper.
Fenstermaker makes clear he's only speaking for his client, not all 5 who will be charged, and he likely won't be Abdulaziz Ali's defense attorney at trial. He's now representing him in a case challenging his detention at Guantanamo Bay. But Fenstermaker says his client has told him of his intended plea, and he believes all 5 have agreed on one approach. Some, including relatives of 9/11 victims, worry that a civilian trial would provide the defendants with a platform, although no TV cameras would be allowed. One relative presented her concern to Attorney General Eric Holder.
I am afraid that the theatrics are going to take over at this point, and I very much regret that.
Judges can handle it. We've got experience in doing these things.
I asked former Justice Department counterterror prosecutor Patrick Rowan another key question.
What are the chances that Khalid Sheikh Mohammed or any of these other defendants could be found not guilty?
Well, anytime you have a jury of 12 people that are brought in off the street, there's some risk that you'll have one or more persons who's not particularly reasonable in the way that they look at evidence. But I think in general, the government has a very strong chance of securing a conviction against all 5 of these defendants.
Rowan says it's tougher to handicap the possible sentencing. He says the government will likely seek the death penalty if they're convicted, and the defendants may want that. But he says it's always tough to get a jury to agree to a death sentence, and attorneys for the accused men may ask the court not to give them their wish for martyrdom. Suzanne.
So, Brian, what about the possibility of a mistrial if Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and the other defendants are released potentially in the United States? Is that a possibility?
Technically, under other trials, it could be a possibility, but in this case, Attorney General Holder says it's not going to happen. Under U.S. law, he says anyone deemed dangerous could not really be released back into the United States. So if there's a mistrial, they'll essentially be held under the same laws under which they're held at Guantanamo right now.
Okay, thank you very much, Brian.